wrong because you never encountered Anton, right? I can talk black women. I can say I've encountered horrible black women, but guess what? I've encountered good black women. So that doesn't negate what Anton says. He's not saying all black men, all black women ain't shit. That's not what he's saying. But he has given back to the black community more than a lot of these other podcasters are, pro-black this, HBCU this, HBCU that. No, they don't give shit. They just saying that shit to give money back to people. Like,
that's not okay. So what I'm saying is this: that's great. You can cut a check. We know that. You're gonna let us know every time. But as far as you using your platform to actually help the community, you have a very large platform, and you use it to tear the community down. You don't get up here and speak positively. You don't get up here and give props for the success. Every time we talk about black success, y'all, you have something to combat it with, right?
You are attacking him right now with his black excellence. Married to a black woman with a black daughter, giving back to the community with his actual money. That's black excellence. That's success. That's a positive story. But you talked about like as if it's nothing. But you ain't doing nothing either. You talk.
Like, I heard you even talking about the Sinners movie or just anything that has anything to do with black progress. It irritates you.
What did I say about the Sinners movie?
It irritates you. All I'm saying is, Anton, you can sit here and act like
what did I say about it? What did I say about it?
You can act like that you're pro-black.
What did I say about the Sinners movie?
What I'm saying is this. There's always a harsh critique against black people, even when they're doing something.
I celebrated it.
Even when they're doing something good.
I celebrated the Sinners movie.
I'm not about to
me and Slimmy and Molly had a conversation about it. Slimmy helped me to look at it from a different lens. He said, Anton, look at the cinematography and all
she talks too much.
And I said, you know what, Slimmy? That they did do an excellent job on that.
What I'm saying,
you know what? I was looking at it from the lens of comparing it to other vampire movies. You helped me to understand it from a different lens. Molly helped me to understand it from a completely different lens. I said, you know what? It is great in its own way. So what did I say negatively about the Sinners movie?
What I'm saying is this. All right, you got me there. Good job. But even when it came to the Super Bowl, right? Even when it came to the Super Bowl, it was a good moment for black people, for blackness. And you had nothing good to say about it and then wanted to say that, that's the time for us to be entertained. If you were really pro-black, you would understand the reason why he chose that moment to do what he did, right?
So people can't even have opinions? Like, do I have to like Beyonce to be to show that I'm pro-black? Like, do I have to like Obama to show that I'm pro-black? So people can't have opinions about even entertainment, just entertainment, but they have to pull out their pro-black card. If you don't like a certain entertainer who's black, now you don't like black people. Now you don't like the black community. Like, her arguments are crazy.
Because we're all so used to being entertained, and that's all these white people want us to be, right? Just entertaining them. Right? A lot of the times you assimilate a lot with their rhetoric and with their mindset. So just because you can cut a check, it's a racist company right now cutting checks for black people every day. That doesn't mean that they appreciate and value black people. I don't think that you do. Just because you have some black women that fuck with you, they probably also have egregious things to say about black women. And
okay, so who fights with you? Because at least Anton, some people know him, some people don't, but people who are watching this video probably know him. So who knows you? Because you are criticizing everything he doesn't do. But what have you done? Like, show us receipts that, hey, listen, I'm criticizing because I'm paying, tuition for 3 kids, for 3 orphans. I'm doing ABCD. Like, give us your blueprint of how you are supporting. You liking Beyonce and liking Kendrick Lamar doesn't make you pro-black. Like, that doesn't do anything for the community. Like, she likes to hear herself talk. This is
black
bad.
people and black people as a collective. You sit here and you try to deny racism every day. You make it seem like that when we bring up these irrefutable facts about systemic racism that we're all just playing the victim. But you don't ever have the smoke for the people that actually put it in place and designed it like this. This has been literally, and you say you know law and the government, then how don't you know about COINTELPRO? How don't you know about all these things that the government literally put into design to keep Black people at a disadvantage in this country? So
Jazz, why don't you tell white people that then?
All I do is bring these things up, Anton.
Well, the white people about your issues. Why are you telling us like we're not Black?
All I do is bring these things up, right? Because
go to white panels and bring it up to them. That's your issue.
Like I was saying, all you do, when I try to bring these things up, I get called a victim. That's not showing me love. You're saying that I'm not the one that doesn't listen to people's perspectives. Every time I bring up the perspective of what really is going on today as far as white people and Black people in this country, you cutting me off.
He can listen and disagree with you. He doesn't have to agree with you to show that he supports Black people. That's her issue. Her issue is she wants everyone to agree with everything that she says. But the reason they have a panel is because they have different minds. Everyone has their own minds. And it would be so dumb if everyone agreed with everybody. So for her to try to force him and everyone else on the panel to agree with everything that she's talking about, that would be foolish. That wouldn't, move the conversation forward.
Calling me a victim, you're not open to hearing none of that, but you are open to hearing and spewing a lot of white supremacist rhetoric. So you're not even saying, you're not even standing on who you are. And just because you cut a check, that means nothing, babe.
It means not. It means something because few people can do it. That's number one. Number two, it means something because you are not doing it. Number three, it means something because it's changing someone's life. If someone gave me $50 right now, it will change my life. If we're going to be honest. So clearly, money moves things. That's why you go to work, because money actually does some change. Because we can talk all the game we want to talk, but if we don't have the dollars to actually create change and get the pieces moving, it does nothing. So for you to I'm actually, offended on behalf of Anton. Because what message is this showing to other men who are trying to put money where the mouth is putting money in the community, and then you have a Black woman attacking him that you giving money to the community is not enough or is nothing? What message?
You're waiting for reparations, so it means something. For people waiting for reparations, getting cut a check means something. So I don't know.
Exactly.
But you know what's so interesting about it, though?
But you waiting on the check to get cut.
Jazz, you gotta let him reply. You went on for a while. Let him reply.
The person that's always talking about getting cut off, somehow you keep on ending back up on the platform. Because if that was the case, then I wouldn't even have you back. First of all. Secondly, you get more talk time.
It's a clear reason why you have me here, and it ain't because you like me like that.
Well, hold on.
No, the reason it brings you back, because it will be an echo chamber. Like I said, it's a panel so that people can agree or disagree. Otherwise, if everyone agreed with themselves, if Anton only let on people who agree with his points, that wouldn't be, first of all, it wouldn't be entertaining. Secondly, it wouldn't move the conversation forward. We wouldn't have solutions. If everyone agreed with each other, it would be a damn conversation to have. If we already agree, we don't have to have the conversation because we're moving on the same path. We need different minds to disagree with each other. I don't agree with everything Anton says, but that means we can, it sharpens the mind if you disagree and try to find solutions.
All the money when my name is thrown in.
Hold on, guys. Anton doesn't pick the panels.
Oh, I understand that, but he just said that he can determine who's on it.
Yeah, if he didn't, he's basically saying, Jazz, if he didn't like you, if he didn't like Black people,
he don't gotta like me when he getting a check off my name every time a check is name's been next to a check.
Now that's disingenuous, because even if I'm reacting off Anton's video, it doesn't mean I'm just getting money off his name, because I had to put the camera on, I had to talk, I had to put the lights on, still I had to put in some work. You know what I mean? And if you really want him, if he was really getting a check just from you, he would only be posting just your videos, just videos with Jazz, with just you. But he posts lots of content, different content, and you're not part of that content. So again, I'm offended on behalf of Anton Daniels.
This man has other channels. You think
Facts.
What I'm saying is this. Of course, I'm going to stay on the platform when this type of discourse happens.
Yeah,
the shit goes up. He goes against me, I goes against him.
Guys, you're not understanding it. These little super chats ain't nothing compared to what he's making on other channels.
I'm not saying that, but
no, because you're thinking that he's just got money. That's all he. No, listen.
That's what I'm talking about.
No. That's what all you listen to.
That's literally all he talks about.
Wait, but Jazz, listen to the Millionaire Morning Show.
The only thing he had good to say about black people was that he cut them a check.
Listen to the Millionaire Morning
Show. Talking about money.
Listen to the advice that he gives the people. Listen to the advice that he gives people that wants to content create. Listen to the advice that he tells people to do what to their income. Like
I'm number one. Literally, I'm part of his Patreon, and he talks about different things, whether it's real estate, content creation for me, how to save money, taxes, and things like that. He talks about different topics. So I can say I'm first victim when it comes to listening to what he has to say, when it has nothing to do with money, but just improving yourself and just, pursuing something that you like. So I don't know what she's talking about.
I think you only listen to tidbits of but he has done a lot for people, and it didn't only involve money. That's the thing I think you don't realize.
Girl, well, listen, until he literally can have an understanding conversation on why black people are owed a lot in this country, and we didn't destroy our communities alone. We're set back right now based on the things that they destroyed from us back then. We would have been so much further ahead economically if they weren't constantly tearing down things that we built.
Jazz,
and my thing is this: we know this to be true. And instead of saying, why was they tearing everything down? We want to talk about black people and why we upset about it.
Okay, Jazz.
You guys noticed all the other ladies have been quiet majority of the time, and she's been talking the whole time only because Anton Daniels disagreed with her. It's like you can disagree with someone, but you don't have to make them and force them to believe and agree with what you have to say. Maybe you have to lay out your points better, logically explain your points, where then you can turn them and they get to agree with what you're saying. But you don't have to become rude and loud and think you're going to be right.
I get it. Let me ask you a question. So what about the black people that are successful?
What about them?
Okay, so what did they do to get to where they're at?
Good question.
Were they in the past regarding slavery?
Girl,
how did they become successful? I'm confused. Like, why are we
baby, you gotta stop this. Because just because an individual can make it out the hood, an individual can do things to get to a certain level of success, does not mean that the community effort is the same way. And the thing is, instead of having smoke for the people that actually destroyed our efforts on being successful, we would have been so much further ahead.
So Jazz, what do we do moving forward?
Had they just left us alone, we would have had legacy. We would have had.
Yeah, I mean, she's complaining more than giving solutions. So this lady Q is simply asking, hey, listen, have there been some black people who have made it out of the hood and become successful? Yes. In other words, should other people at least try to emulate the same steps those people took? The answer could be possibly yes. But she's talking about how everyone is being held back. And it's like, okay, what's your solution? We have heard the issues. What's your solution? What do you have in mind that we should do? Raising your voice and saying how the white man is holding you behind isn't the solution. What's your solution? How can we navigate the situation so that everyone can be successful? Which we know majority of people will never be like successful if we're going to be talking about rich, but everyone can be successful in their own way. What's the best way we can do? Personally, we can start by stopping having broken families, because it starts right there. We can start trying to preach marriage before you have babies. We can start to try to preach, good relationships between each other, because that's where success begins. At home, if a kid didn't see success at home, it's going to be hard for them to be successful on their own.
Jazz, okay, let's talk about the past. Let's talk about now. What about the black?
Oh my God! The past is literally recreating itself as we speak.
No. Black people are holding themselves back right now in 2025. More black on black crime. Black violence.
No. Oh my God.
Here, let me ask you a question. Right. So Jazz is very passionate about this. Very passionate. So you did the research as to what the problem is.
No, because it's like the.
Am I muted?
The problem is and has always and will always will be. My bad, I didn't hear him. My bad. Okay, my bad. Sorry.
So for the past 40 years, we've been reminded of what the problem is.
Yeah.
Right? My parents' generation, the generation above me, my generation, and your generation. So we know what the problem is.
What's the
and
solution?
You keep talking about it.
Yep.
What's the solution? You're very good at knowing what the problem is and seeing it. So what can we do collectively?
That's what I was saying.
Collectively, yes. At this point,
what can we do?
We hear you. We hear the problem. What is the solution?
What we can do is be just as mad as when you hear black people talking about race.
Being mad isn't going to change a thing. We need real actions. Being mad, you're going to go back to sleep and when wake up, then what? Be mad again, then sleep again, then get up, be mad again. Being mad is what actually leads to emotional actions, which usually is, destruction of property when people are protesting, which now hurts the businesses because usually they break into people's businesses and then that sets us back. We need real actions, positive actions that can move us forward, not being mad. Oh my God.
Wait a second. So
be so mad at racism that you don't
being mad. But being mad is a negative emotion.
Exactly.
So is racism.
It definitely is.
We cannot sit here.
But why are we going to duplicate?
We can't keep denying.
Let her finish, Jazz. Let him finish.
I thought he asked me a question.
But why are we going to duplicate?
Can you let me finish answering you before you start picking apart?
Oh my God, this woman loves to hear herself talk. I know some of you guys don't want to listen to her, and I know some people have said, "Oh, she shouldn't come back to the panel." I actually disagree. I like women like Jazz because number one, you see, what type of woman to avoid, but number two, you need people who disagree with you because it's going to challenge your mental capacity. It's going to teach you how to logically and surgically argue and create good argument points to win conversations or arguments for that matter, or debates. But also it kills the echo chamber. So I like ladies like Jazz. I even prefer them to women who are just quiet because everyone would just agree and two them make a good conversations. What do you guys think? Shout out to Anton Daniels, link down below.